I said that I'm waiting to see what happened.
Okay.
Ringing. Yeah, Jah Life. Hello?
Hey.
You have Steven on the phone.
Greetings, Jah Life. Greetings, Jah Life. Jah Life?
Jah Life, turn on the radio.
No, I got trouble muted, yeah. Yeah, come back on, mute no music. Wait a minute.
Hi, Jah Life.
Yeah, hi. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me loudly and clearly?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, wonderful. I have my recording devices on and running. And officially, I'd like to begin, Jah Life, this interview by thanking you for what I think is a tremendous opportunity and honor to reason with you for a little bit this blessed Sunday for the benefit of reggae fans and historians all over.
Okay, I hear you.
I
hear what you're saying.
Good.
Go ahead.
Respect. I also want to thank a scientist who's also on the phone. And, scientist, he's going to chime in and participate in the conversation as he sees fit. Hopefully, you're also hearing me loudly and clearly as well, scientist.
Yes, I am.
Good. I want to thank you, too, as we get underway for helping to bring us all together. And I want to encourage you to speak up whenever you feel inclined today, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Come here, them keep out, they keep out me and scientists out of everything, and it's not them make it possible.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important, Jah Life, to get into some of these things we're going to get into, and with so much respect, before we can begin to probe your over 50-year-old legendary career in reggae as a producer and record label owner in New York City, a man who played such an important part in breaking or busing the careers of so many legendary artists like Barrington Levy, Sister Carol, and so many more people. I think it's very important, Jah Life, that first we give the people some autobiographical information, some biographical information about your bio, about yourself, and where you're from, and some information, about your family, and basically how you grew up in Jamaica before you migrated to New York. And I believe, Jah Life, that you grew up or that you're from Denham Town originally. Is that true?
Yeah, Kingston 14.
Nice.
To me,
yeah.
What I would say that is Jamaica.
Yeah.
Where I'm from, that area is Jamaica.
Nice.
Because everything.
Yeah.
Everything is there. From the studios, the record stores, the this, the that, all of these, like everything.
Beautiful.
Were you that's born? Where I've light even before a lot of places in the world.
And were you born there? Were you born there too, Jah Life?
Yeah, I was born in 100 Charles Street.
Wow, okay.
Between Bread Lane and Regent Street.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
And that's the Bacawal area, the Bacawal surroundings, where the government tried to make it seem like that was the worst ghetto there is. It was a ghetto, but it wasn't the worst, because the biggest, again, start with the cemetery. The biggest cemetery in Jamaica is right here.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
We have Flat House. We have the Dead House. Where we have the hospitals. We have the biggest market.
Wow.
Everything.
Is that Coronation Market?
Coronation Market, yeah. And a lot of people didn't even know the Coronation Market was a cemetery. It was a part of Bacawal and Coronation and what you call it now, Mapen Cemetery.
Oh wow! Now, if you don't mind my asking you, what year were you born around, Jah Life? Or what year were you born?
I'm not even sure, but some people make it seem like a big man, like even guys I grew up with, they say that Jah Life, or some call me Jah Life, some call me Bulla Belly, some call me Junior. But when we are youth, you're a big man for me,
Yeah.
I say, me, boss. And them say, yeah, man, you're a big man for when we are youth. And when I take a start, them older than me.
Yeah. Jah Life,
Yeah. I was born 1952. I have to ask my auntie because I say I don't sure. So I asked my aunt. My aunt says, yes, it's 52 because she get everybody birth paper. She used to work at the birth paper place. So she get birth paper for everyone in the family.
Nice. Now, Jah Life, I understand, I think from doing a little bit of research that in the 40s, your grandfather on your mother's
30s.
On the 30s maybe, your grandfather on your mother's side, your grandfather was a musician, true?
Yeah, he was a Hansman. Well, the picture I never knew him because I was born 52 and he left Jamaica before that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what happened is he was, I see a picture with him with an horn at his side. He was a police officer, no seam or nothing.
A trumpet, a trumpet or a saxophone? What did he have? What kind of horn?
No. It's a horn, one of them, like, them military horn, like where you see the trumpet and the little trumpet, like, the blow. But that's him.
Yeah.
My uncle now, Lloyd Mason, in the 50s now.
Yeah.
In the 50s, he was a bass player and hornsman and all the flute, all type of thing he do for Studio One.
Say his name again.
Even the idiot VP records.
Say his name again.
I don't even like talk nice about those people because they are not nice.
They
don't deserve nothing nice.
Enough respect. Say his name again, Jah Life. What was his name again?
Lloyd Mason. You can look it up.
I will.
Lloyd Mason.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah. And my understanding.
He passed the other day, so
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
Mr. Dad, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to hear that. But you also, I wanted to make clear, your grandfather, the one that you didn't meet, but that you saw the picture with the horn, he was also in the police force. Is that true?
Yeah, he was in the police force. Yeah, and my uncle now, which is my brother, which is my grandfather, son too. He was he was in the army. He was a sergeant in the army.
Oh wow!
I mean, the 50s.
Wow.
He used to play a lot of songs for a lot of these guys, but mainly Studio One. Mr. Dad gave him the upright bass.
Wow.
That bass where I don't mean to cut you, but I hear Leroy was talking a whole lot of things like he used to this and he used to that and thing. I hear you, and I don't know Lloyd Nibs, but they talk about Lloyd Nibs. My uncle named Lloyd Mason. So he was in the army.
Yeah.
What he used to do, he just go and do his work and leave and go back to work.
Wow.
Go back to the army because those guys are disciplined.
Yeah.
So he don't stay and hang out with people and talk and do all of this. He just do what he has to do and leave.
Wow.
And Mr. Dad gave him the upright bass. That means him was one of the official. I see how kind of lie this and lie that name.
Yeah.
On records and things, but
good to
they probably never used to put his name.
It's good to give people the recognition that they should get.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you have it now? Do I have it right? And can you let me make sure I understand. I think that because you were talking about him. I actually listened to you talking about your uncle on a radio program, and you were saying how he didn't get enough respect. I think you also said that in addition to being such a good player of music, that he also taught music.
Yeah, he used to do all type of thing. All right, Irvin Miller, this guy in Jamaica. Yeah. You can check with him.
Yeah.
One day I was at a club and hear Irvin Miller talking. Say we went to Jamaica to find one of the biggest musicians in Jamaica.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, who is that? I said, Jah Life, you don't know them people, man. Them people are before your time. I said, well, tell me still.
Yeah.
I said, Light Mason.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I said, Light Mason, me, you have to ask about him.
That's funny. Hey,
Jah Life, you don't know them people, man.
What?
And I said, all right, I can give you the number tomorrow. And when I give him, say, Jah Life, I cannot believe it.
That's hilarious. What was your grandfather's name, by the way?
Well, you know, I know Dick. They used to call him Dick.
Dick, okay. And
all right, I can give you the full thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My grandmother.
Yeah.
Right? What I heard, my grandmother never talked about him.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
My aunt told me, my aunt is the only one alive now. My grandmother have my aunt and my mother. My mother only have me.
Yeah.
And my aunt who have a kid.
Yeah.
So it's just me and my aunt leave. My mother and my grandmother pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I asked my aunt, she said, what happened is, and I need to find out, but I think it's with her.
Yeah.
My grandfather and my grandmother, they married, right? And they leave to go to Nassau.
Yeah. In Bahamas.
Right?
Yeah.
And, Bahamas. Yeah. And what happened is she took sick on the boat, on the ship.
Mm.
And when they reached,
yeah,
like, she was pregnant, really.
Mm.
And they put her, he just sent her back by herself. You know?
Wow. Wow.
Jah Life, let me in a little bit. To keep it on script with the question that Stephen have up, it might be confusing to the listener, so make Stephen lead it through the script them so we can get out the important things that affect the business.
Scientists, you know that he's the one who's asking these questions.
Yeah, fair enough. No. Listen,
you know, we can't just cut through stuff.
You guys,
I don't do interview, I reason. Because sometimes some things come to your mind that you have to speak about.
Feel free.
So,
listen,
you know,
listen, everyone, I want you to feel free to talk as you want. Okay, I have all the patience.
You told me that before, Steve.
I have all the patience and the time, and this is so important. Before I forget, let me make sure. I hope I'm not getting ahead. And feel free to rewind if you want.
No, man, say what you said.
This family musical tradition, of course, of yours, this very rich family musical tradition that you have. It extends, of course, to your father, who my understanding...
I didn't even mention him yet.
Yeah, I know. My understanding is, Jah Life, that... but before we get to your father, what was your mother's name?
Mason.
Your mother's name is Mason? And
Mason. But they used to call her Gypsy.
Gypsy?
And Gotti. I call her Gotti. I call my grandmother Mama.
And was your mom...
I call my mother...
Was your mom involved in music too?
Well, it's a funny thing you asked that.
Yeah.
My mother was... You know how Jamaican talk, a wicked singer.
Yeah.
My mother used to sing. She was a seamstress. She used to sew.
Wow.
My grandmother used to do embroidery and she do regular sewing. Everybody around here, every woman used to be in my yard.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And my mother just sew for everybody. And she always singing.
Oh, wow.
Even when cut again, because that's how when things come up to you, you have to talk. You can't just program to say.
Yeah.
All right. I went to St. Lucia with the idiot Barrington Levy.
Yeah.
And me and Noel Alfonso, Roland Alfonso's son.
Yeah.
Stand up on a balcony looking way down in a valley and talking and things. And I start saying some things and I start crying. And him start crying too and say, look how you make me cry.
Mm.
You don't see it. And Mr. Boss, I always thought like 1972 when we do a first shoot, me and Percy, my brother-in-law and my music partner, and Dennis. You know, I said, I always talk about from there. But I remember from in the 60s, you know, and I remember my grandfather now, from in the 30s, he used to do these things. And when I remember and I start talk about it, tears start come on me, I start and notice it, boy, to him hear that, I know it theme father, Roland Alfonso and all of that. And say, boy, I make me cry too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say, that me I show you, boss. For all the years me I talk about
a lot of history.
Start 1972, but me never ever think of my grandfather and all of that.
It's a lot of
my uncle again.
A lot of rich history, Jah Life. Jah Life, what was your father's name?
Vincent Wright.
Vincent Wright. And my understanding is that he had a sound system and that he also was involved in some recordings with Stranger Cole, and they together had their own label, the Wright and Cole W&C label. Is that accurate?
All right. Hear what you said?
Yeah.
You say it right way, you know.
Yeah.
Right and Cole, because that's how I knew it from I was small.
Yeah.
And Stranger told me that too. But after Delroy died and I talked to him about it, he said, oh, Delroy, it was Wright and Wilson and Cole. I said, but if my father give you a record shop and help you to do, because he was a young kid in the area, and my father always help everybody, because he has his jewel store and him and Tubbs was buying up houses and all of that. And
wow.
So why would you give you set up a shop for you and make it be Wilson and Cole?
Yeah.
I know this, that
Stranger was
primary person, yeah.
Stranger was the one who was saying that to you? Stranger.
Yeah. After Delroy passed, and I said, I just leave it alone. I don't want, you know, because it's a bigger man.
You're talking about Delroy Wilson.
Yeah, you must be talking.
Him and Delroy. Once upon a time, I Wanna Love You, and two more songs, I can't remember those two.
Was your dad? Was your dad's sound system based in and was the W&C label, was it based in Denhamtown?
Well, I really, again, tell you the truth, I don't know about the sound system. I know he had, you know, because...
Did he have a record?
So he have a little set and thing, but I don't know if it was then a huge thing.
Did he have a record shop on North Street?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know he had his jewel store.
A jewelry store.
Jewel store, yeah.
Yeah.
Temple Lane, Water Lane, between Water Lane and Temple Lane, right behind Times Store.
Since that's very interesting to know. And since you guys mentioned Delroy Wilson, and he's one of my favorite. He's got to be one of my favorite artists. And I guess I want to ask, first of all, how old do you think you were when Jah Life? How old were you roughly? Do you think you were when your dad and Stranger Cole had their label together?
Listen, me and age don't agree. You know? I can tell you why.
Yeah.
I can't remember being a kid.
Oh wow. Wow. Wow.
Everything all right. I can give you so you can have an idea from what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bakawal, right?
Yeah.
Bakawal, then government lick it down 1962.
Yeah.
I was 10 then. And everything I talk about is before I was 10.
I see.
I work at the second biggest jewel store in them times and all of that. I used to go to art school. When I go to art school, I don't talk about regular school because I don't learn anything from regular school. Everything I know is from water.
Yeah.
That's why I talk about water age a lot. People talk about sun god and don't mention water god. And water is what makes everything possible.
That's why you talked about it. You yesterday when I was talking to you about this interview. You talked about Aquarius.
Yeah, the age of Aquarius. Even Sister Carl texted me from Jamaica the other day and said, "Well, Jah Life, for years, me you talk about the Aquarian age and the water age, and that song." I love that song, Gone to Bed too, The Age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
The fifth dimension. You hear that name, those guys have the fifth dimension.
Jah Life, before I forget, who were some other, I know that Delroy Wilson was one of the artists on the W&C label. Do you recall any other artists who were recorded on the W&C label?
Not really. I don't,
Yeah.
I never I used to do my thing. I never used to penetrate it. It's after when, Tubby's,
Yeah.
Tubby's my father. My father said, boy, you have 2 tuna sell like hot bread. And my father said, no, man, then don't come out.
Wow.
And he said, yeah, man. And Tubby said, well, you have 2 spoon, man, I sell. And he went and checked stranger. One old man went and said, stranger. Stranger said, no, man, his sell is at wax. It a sell, not really sell it. It's more promotion and thing.
Yeah.
And the old man said, give him a copy of the tape.
Yeah.
And the old man did have a Torino, a Grand Torino.
Yeah, I heard about that. The Gran Torino, yeah.
Yeah, a mustard one. So Bunny Lee go buy one years after, because my father owned a family in his 60s. And it's 1968 me I talk about when,
Let me ask,
I know that my old man was involved in all of that.
Let me also ask before I forget, did you ever meet and hang out with Delroy Wilson?
No.
Oh, okay.
Me and him, after they came up here, all of them was here, and Alton and all of them, and working at a place in Dynasty and Utica Avenue, and
yeah.
Leroy Sibbles and them talking about, I was to Mr. Dad and thing. I said, Mr. Dad for what?
Now,
you see it, and I'm going to get on them case, all of them, and Ken Booth and them say, Mr. Dad, I see Mr. Dad rent place away and buy furniture and bicycle and send me go to England and all of these things. And some of the man them start saying, Leroy is the one who dump and, I go to you go watch and see.
Yeah.
And I just saw Mr. Dad and Mr. Dad could have counted to him and take away everything with him out.
Whoa,
and
yeah.
What I know.
Now, to mention...
I'm trying to keep you do too much, but what I know, right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Mr. Dad and Treasure Isle and all of that, even Mr. Dad, I think his Treasure Isle helped bring him to.
Yeah.
Duke
Reed, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to, I don't mean to cut you, Jah Life. Did you want to say, I wanted to ask you.
All right. No, you can't say anything in time, man. It's you who I am working with you.
I wanted to ask because before we get too far ahead, I wanted to ask about another Delroy. A different Delroy. You have a brother by that name, and he's involved in reggae music business too, and he lives in Maryland or DC, I think. Yeah, DC, Maryland. And so of course his name is Mr. Delroy Wright. Is he older or younger than you?
No, he's younger than me.
And I read about your brother that at one time, I'm not sure if this is still the case, but your brother opened something called the Live and Learn Record Mart in Washington, D.C., and that a lot of one journalist wrote that was a checkpoint for all the displaced Jamaicans and touring reggae artists who would come around that area for like 20 years. Is that true?
Yeah, because it was me and him. But what happened is, even though every time I said, boss, I was looking for, because I was the one doing music, and I was looking for a place, because I moved down, I was living in DC, and I was looking for a place to, to set up a recording shop or a studio or whatever. And
I read that you migrated, that you moved to DC with your brother around 1970. Is that accurate?
No.
Oh, when did you come?
72, 73.
Oh.
A little thing break out here in New York, where the badness thing, and
Yeah.
My brother and some of the guys that moved here, some moved to Connecticut, and I went to Coney Island for a while. And
why did you
after that?
Why did you first decide to move to America from Jamaica?
It wasn't me, my mother, my grandmother, my aunt was here really.
Yeah.
My aunt was here, and then my cousin come up. Two of my cousins come up, and all them was living together.
I see.
My aunt, I never even knew that my aunt was looking after people from my mother and my grandmother and all of us.
So you wanted to join your family?
Say that?
You wanted to join your family in the United States. That's why you left Jamaica.
It's not even that. As I say,
Yeah.
they get a visa from me, and I came up and I went here and all of that. And look, I was working from I was small. I used to make kites and sell yo-yo, gig, skate.
Yeah.
You know, I used to sell marble. I used to sell tiki fish, crabs.
Wow.
I used to draw and sculpt and all of these things from my little kid.
Yeah.
That's why I say I can't remember being small.
You were always working.
I tell people that I am because I was born in a yard where is my grandmother's place.
Yeah.
And everybody works. Every family I know have something.
Jah Life, what was the hardest thing about coming to the United States or being in the United States for the first time? What was the hardest part for you?
More the winter, because I came here like in November. Don't ask me what date.
Yeah.
I know I come here in November.
And it was too cold.
You know?
Yeah. It was too cold.
1970.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too cold.
I didn't feel it the same time. Because what happened is my aunt was going to work. I come the Sunday night, and the Monday morning she gave me $2.
Yeah.
And tell me where my sisters and my brother was. I must walk straight up Troy Avenue, and when I cross a big main road called Eastern Parkway, I look for Sterling Place, and she tell me which one was the even number, and which one was the odd number. But even though if you ask me that, I don't know which side was the even from the odd. But I found it that day. Yeah. And I find my sisters, 8 sisters and 1 brother. So when I find it, and as I go up, so my big sister said to me, Junior, record shop around the corner. And I said, what? And I take the $2 and go around.
Wow. Wow.
And buy $2.45.
Wow. What was the name of the shop?
Sir Junior.
What was the name of the record shop? Do you remember?
Chin Randy's.
Oh, from Chin Randy's. Yeah. Wow.
What was the biggest reggae record shop in the whole US?
And is that where you met Percy Chin?
Percy, that's where I met Percy. When I go around here, I meet Percy. I buy 2 records and get about 50 cents from the $2.
Was Percy there? Was Percy there that first time you went?
Huh?
Was Percy in the shop that first time you went?
Yeah, Percy. He was kind of the manager, I think.
And that was the first time that was the
man named Nakisaki. He was the accountant.
And that was the first time you met Percy?
Yeah, the first time.
Wow.
And I buy 2 records, and then I got to work the same week.
Yeah.
I get I don't like to use the week name still.
Yeah.
But most people used to being saying week. I don't like the week. But the first week I came here, I get a job. Yeah. At Long Island. I never used to I used to do jewelry work in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah. But, like your dad. Yeah.
Yeah. But I never make watch case.
Okay. Yeah.
I get to work at Latin Watch Case Company in Long Island.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I start working, and the first pay I get, I think was only at $25.
Wow. Now, Jah Life, you're. Let me make sure I understand this, because I when doing some research, I figured out that your first production in the music business it didn't come on the Jah Life label. That didn't happen yet. It was on the Kaya label, right?
No, it did not. It's 72.
Yeah, on the Kaya label, right?
Yeah, with me and Percy and Dennis. Huh?
Oh, it was on the Kaya label.
Kaya label.
And it was a Lester Sterling tune, right?
And the next race was Lester Sterling and Bump Jackson and Freight and all these guys.
And let me make sure, I also want to confirm, it was recorded on a 4-track console at Hugh Hendrix. At
Hugh Hendrix and the Buccaneers.
Yeah, in the Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, in Brooklyn.
And what now, now when you did that first recording, was there anything in particular, right around that time that made you decide, you know what, I'm going to start getting into this music business in a serious way as a producer?
as I say, when I buy the first 245,
Yeah.
that's when things start. Because I used to do that in Jamaica. And I used to like do a lot of music thing, but not,
Yeah.
All right. To me, I used to listen to these guys at the department stores.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody talk oud, Matuki and this and that and yeah. But to me, these guys used to at the stores, right? They stand up outside with a loudspeaker and say, a penny yard, the bumper yard, the penny yard. Come get your rubberized, your suicide, your gabardine, your car key, your flamingo, all these type of things.
Yeah.
Those guys used to DJ on the side, the street side.
Yeah.
Then the first DJ I hear, his name was Palmer Dice.
Say it again.
Palmer Dice.
Palmer Dice.
The first Palmer Dice.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Palmer, Jetstar Palmer Dice.
Yeah.
But Dice. And he used to DJ. All right. We used to go to a place called Hot and Cold.
Mm-hmm.
The big powerhouse that light up Jamaica. It have a torch there that they say that torch out Jamaica going to darkness.
Yeah.
And we used to go down there, Tangier and this other place called Bolo to catch the little tiki fish, them and thing. Those fish, like every one of them, even the baby pregnant.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They are two big eye on top and the belly always big.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Like, even the babies, when they squeeze them, all right, what happened? This guy used to purchase them from me and trust them.
Huh.
And then what happened is, when
when he's saying trust, he means credit.
I see.
Yeah, credit.
Yeah.
Credit.
Yeah.
Hey, pay later.
Yeah.
I'm glad
in Jamaica, they say they use, hey, can you trust me some oil? Can you trust me?
Put it on credit. Yeah, put it on credit. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's credit, but
Yeah.
So you see how much different names you have, and trust is like a person must trust you. You can't. If a person trusts you, you have to pay.
For sure. Yeah.
Or credit, you have to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people put their trust into good, and some put their trust into bad.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now, Jah Life, I don't know if if you wanted to say more about that, but what I wanted to ask you.
No, you just tell me. You just talk, and you can cut me anytime because there's always room for things. So
what year?
You just cut me whenever you want to cut me. Say what you want to say and ask what you want to ask me.
Thank you so much, Jah Life. Jah Life, what year, if you remember, did you first found, you and Percy, did you first found the Jah Life music label in New York City?
Well, it was the Kaya.
Yeah.
And then I had my sound now, and then I call the sound Dubai Rita, because I have a Dubai Rita label as well. And trust me, I have to unload a label. So what remember when I booked them up, I realized, me have a label here too.
Yeah.
I was an artist, as I said. I used to sculpt and do art.
Yeah.
So from a young age, I used to curse out a lot of big people. Because you have some big man, when I draw something from out of the comic strip in Jamaica, you used to have the Sunday Green, and then you have a comic strip into it.
Yeah.
And you have this man with a sailor hat and a pipe in her mouth, and a grandson on one side and a granddaughter on the next side.
Yeah.
All right. That little article used to be like your phone. Just picture the size of your phone.
Yeah.
And I do it on a big drawing pad, probably a 13 or 14 by 10, 12, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
A regular art size book.
Yeah.
Right? And I draw that thing big like that. And he tell me that, it's trace, I trace it.
Oh.
Like, they used to use grease paper.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And put over things and then just mark around it and then, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I said, there must be some fool. Big man like you are telling me, say me trace. So look how small this thing is in the comic strip. And you can tell me, say I trace it and make it so big.
Right.
Sometimes we don't know nothing about blowing up things or anything like that.
Right.
That was in the 60s. And I used to be by Treasure Isle, sit down across the street from Treasure Isle, a bar, a man named George Dick, my granny and his wife used to sell things at market and all of that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to curse him out, you know.
Yeah.
He tell me I'm tracing something that I drew. I go to art school 3 or 4 times, I think, and don't go back because what they're teaching me, I pass that stage. But I wasn't in a learning mode. So I know things.
So all this contributed, though, to you kind of deciding you wanted to go out on your own and have your own music label.
Yeah, as I say, with personal, when I get the first payment when I went to Long Island at Latin Watches Company, I buy a solid state amplifier, then I buy 2 Jensen speaker. Up to this day, from 1970 till now, that them never go into a box.
Wow.
They stay into the same cardboard box. I get and lean it up, and I buy a guitar and a guitar amp.
Yeah. Nice.
And I turn out the bass, and I pluck the bass guitar. I don't know if I hold a key or a card or a note or nothing, but I was just in that mood, and I start, pluck, and it sounds like a goodish to me, so I just keep doing it. But I never really turned out to be, great musician, and I could be the best.
Right.
Why I say that?
Yeah.
Why I say that? Where I'm from, right where Winston Riley used to be at West Street.
Yep.
Right? You used to have the only music instrument shop right at the corner, there across from Public Hospital.
What was it called? What was it called? I think someone has told me about this before. Do you remember what the name was called of the place where the only music instruments were?
Mr. Corbett. I know him was Mr. Corbett.
Oh.
It was my mother used to sew for his daughter and wife and everybody. And I used to go out there. So all right, in California there, you are a scientist, must know this guy. We have Rupert Corbett, Glenford Steer, and Tony Steer and Glenford Steer. And that was Mr. Corbett grandkids. But his son now, Rupert Corbett. Him was the guy that used to play the organ in the church and all of that.
I got you.
And the music shop. So what happened is my mother used to send me out there to learn music. And I didn't go back.
Nice.
Because what happened is I team up this, the leather, the piece of like about a 2 inches wide leather.
Yeah.
Piece of leather strap. He used to beat his kids and grandkids with it, and I said, I'm not taking that.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I didn't go back.
Hey.
That's why I didn't get to learn or know to play music.
And so, but yet, even though I think what you're one of the things I'm understanding from what you're saying is that with all your musical background from your family and the musical you've been around music so much, it made sense for you to become a producer.
Yeah, and it's simpler to me because there's a lot of things I know.
Yeah.
So by knowing things, you can use that to do what you need to do.
Absolutely. Jah Life, before I have to ask this because it's both your label name and the primary name by which people know you by. How did your professional name and the name of your record label, Jah Life, first come into existence? How was this name Jah Life born?
Okay.
Yeah.
The birth of Jah Life is like I'm trying to put it the right way. Yeah. Because it's this stupid guy we got interviewed one time and said, his team name and all of that. What happened is when they say His Majesty died, they said Jah dead. Yeah. We even have the Jah Life before Bob Marley did Jah Live. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Originally, we used to say Jah liveth and reigneth in the hearts and thoughts of I and I. And Jah live, and we used to say Jah live. So the sound was called Jah Live Hi-Fi. Oh. Not Jah Life. Jah Live Hi-Fi.
Jah Live Hi-Fi. Your sound.
A lot of people, when you say live, live and live, it's spelled the same way. That's why I don't like this language. I talk how I feel to talk, because live and live spelled the same way. Live, Live. Yeah. And some people will say, when you say Jah live, or you say Jah Life, it come in like them said. I said Jah Life, but it wasn't Jah Life, it was Jah Life.
Right.
Jah Live.
Right.
So, again, give you another thing to you probably need to get in touch with him to I can give you his link. Prince Buster's son, Danny Buster, Buster Ali.
Yeah.
California too. Him is the one who is keeping up his father's name and all of that. Well, me and him talk all the while about all of these things. Right? When they say his cousin, he has a cousin called Burglar. A friend of mine, I'm going to try and make it quick still. A friend of mine, right, you know, they asked me to take him to visit his friend. And when we reach here and I park up and come out, he said, come inside, man, and I go inside and think, you know. And when I go in, his burglar that I say, so what, Jah Life? Him didn't say Jah Live. Him said Jah Life. Jah Life, a man like you. That's why I mentioned, say, some people, when they hear Jah Life, they probably think it's life.
Right.
Now, even though when I talk, some people write all kind of different things.
Now, you
anyway,
also...
I said, what burglar, what? And he said, come on, man, come on the corner, and we'll go around behind the store, the shop counter and thing. And the guy that asked me to take him there, he was from Tivoli Garden. And burglar used to be at Tivoli Garden too, from Bakawal days, before Tivoli Garden. So burglar said, Jah Life, a man like you, and it sounds strange to me when him saying Jah Life. Anyway, the next guy will carry me, ask me to take him there. My Virgin Burglar now did have a tool on the account and a wrap out him thing and thing. Man, take it up and juke him and take him money and him wrap out.
When he say juke, he is like what? A right. Stick him up.
Turf, all right.
Yeah,
you did it. Yeah, it's like him stick him up.
Yeah, I see.
Pick up his thing and stick him up.
Yeah. Jah Life, I didn't mean to cut you, but you have also if somebody were to go and look like, for example, which I would encourage all the reggae people in the world to do, to go check out the Discogs, Jah Life on Discogs, because you know, it's just an amazing list of artists. I'm going to mention a whole bunch in a minute, but you also have it's not just Jah Life Records, it's also Jah Life Time Records too.
Yeah, Jah Life Music and all of these things.
Is Jah Life Time a subsidiary of Jah Life Records?
Everything is a substitute. You have Jah Life Music, you have Jah Life Records, you have Jah Life Time, you have Lifetime, you have Lifetime, you have Dubirator, you have
Dubirator, yeah. So all those are under Jah. All those are you. All those are you. All those are Jah Life.
All of them. It's me and Percy.
Now, also, do people actually, when people look you up on the internet, another name that comes up, I just want to see if anyone actually ever calls you this. Does anyone ever call you Papa Life?
Yeah, they call me Papa Life too.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure, because you have to check some of these things out sometimes that people are saying. And the other thing about names is, and I know scientists, he's probably going to chuckle now, but when we first started talking about, you know, doing this great reasoning that we're having Jah Life, I said to scientists, you know, I was talking to him about your name, your legal name. I said Hyman Wright, and I said to scientists, I said, listen, this has to be the only Jamaican person I've ever heard of whose first name is Hyman, and actually I don't know anyone else.
You did her last name.
I usually
Simon and all of that.
And I don't know.
Let me say this to you. My father.
Yeah.
You know what you were saying?
Yeah.
My father.
Yeah.
Said to me one day, said, "Where you get that name from?"
Your father said that?
Yeah. I said, "Where you get that name?" Because my grandmother named me. So Jim asked, "Where you get that name from?" I said, "Mama, you know, my grandmother."
And why did your grandma?
She knew she was going to be a Rasta. That's what she said to it.
Where did your grandma get that name from?
Huh?
Where did your grandma get that name Hyman from?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to ask her and things like that, but it just fit in.
Yeah. Now,
Hyman.
Now, Jah Life.
Right. All right, again, we'll give you this one before you say something else.
Yeah.
Anthony is my middle name, right?
Yeah.
And you always, I'm an A right.
Oh.
Right? So when people ask what's the A for, I say always.
Always right. Always right. That makes sense. Now, the Jah Life, I wanted to ask about Percy Chin a minute. You already mentioned him, and I'm really happy to know. I think all the reggae fans would be thrilled to learn about how you went. And the first time you met him was going in, with those $2 going over to Randy Chin's, and he was managing the shop, and you met him there, and this great friendship.
Not Randy Chin Randy.
Chin Randy's, and this great friendship struck up where you guys then had this great legendary musical label. So people, enough props and respect for this history. And you, when I heard you talk about him at one point in another thing where you were being interviewed or talked to, and you said that he used to manage that record shop, Chin Randy's.
Yeah, Chin Randy. Yeah.
Yeah, and you also said, I just want to confirm, he's also your brother-in-law as well, right?
Yeah, And he come around by me and thing until him and my sister started, and they're still married up till now.
And he also was Percy was also Sister Carol, who I'm going to ask a lot of questions about in a minute. But he was also her manager at one point. True?
Yeah, me and him. He was the manager then, and he do the paperwork. I go do the road work. I do the producing mainly.
Yeah. Now, when we talk about the legendary Jah Life record label and the many reggae artists you produced and the careers that you greatly impacted, and like Sister Carol, who I just mentioned, and I want to ask you though a bit about your history and your friendship with two men who, in my opinion, and that of many other people too, are the two most important people in the history of dub music. And that's King Tubby and Scientist.
And Saga.
Yeah. And I would say
Saga and Scientist.
And Scientist.
To me, those are the three.
Those are the three, big three. Now let me start.
Most people never used to. Bulwark, he kind of have. He used to do things here before too, like us.
Yep.
And he have that kind of
Lloyd Barnes. Lloyd Barnes. Bulwark. Lloyd Barnes.
Yeah, Lloyd Barnes. Yeah,
now,
Bulwark. Yeah.
Let me start first though, but by asking. I want to concentrate, of course, because we don't have all the time in the world. But let me start by asking about King Tubby. When do you first recall, Jah Life, meeting King Tubby? How old were you?
It was in 1962. 68.
Wow, okay.
1968.
Yeah.
That's when my father and when they started, them started.
Oh, and then so
I was saying before, my father had a Gran Torino.
Yeah.
Right, the 4-door sedan. And what happened is he have an 8-track in there, so he asked Tubby's to make an 8-track for him, and that's when Tubby started telling him about him.
Yeah.
Two that sell like hot bread. So anyway, he went to him there and get the tape.
Yeah.
A copy of the tape and take it to Tubby's and tell Tubby's to keep it and just make the 8-track for him.
And that's how you ended up meeting him, Jah Life?
Yeah.
And
I never ever see him again until when I went to Jamaica for Linval Thompson, now 79, to voice the same DDT, Age of Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. DDT, we use is poisonous gas, but we just say Dread Trinity.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
I see. Now, Jah Life, you were quoted in a March 2005 article a long time ago, and we're going to talk about Staga for a second now. You were quoted in a March 2005 article, so almost 20 years ago. And there was an article that came out, was published. It was called "Dub from the Roots" by a guy named Jeff Stratton, and this was an article. It was all about Tubby's baby brother, who I don't think a lot of people know about. His legal name is Leslie Ruddock, but I understand from you and Scientist that he would go by Staga.
Yes, Stagger.
And this article was published in the Miami New Times. It's still anyone can go look on it online and go read it.
Send it for me, because I don't even remember.
I will.
I even know about that.
After.
Send it for me.
Yeah, I'll definitely, after the interview today, I'll send it to you. But this is a fascinating article about young Tubby or Leslie Stagger, and it says, quote, in the article, it says, in the 60s, as King Tubby grew famous, Leslie Ruddock got tired of following in his footsteps, and convinced he could become an engineer and technician in his own right, he moved to Brooklyn, where he took his electronic knowledge to a new level. And then the article goes on to say, quote, by the early 70s, with the technology of New York City at his disposal, his achievements, Leslie's or Stagger, his achievements outstripped, they were bigger than his brother King Tubby's back on the island of Jamaica, say many who witnessed young Tubby's or Stagger's innovations.
And they call him Young Tubbs too.
Young Tubbs. Do you agree with what this article is saying, that that Leslie and Stagger is, just as important as and maybe even more important than Tubby when it comes to dub?
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Tubby's was not dub man like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Stagger was the dub. Stagger designed an amplifier. 1970, when I come here and start buying my things, the Fisher Reverb.
Yeah.
Fisher Reverb is from the 60s. I buy one when I get the job, and I buy the amplifier and the solid state, and I buy the Fisher Reverb. I buy a Univax echo chamber, and the Jensen speaker, and I start doing my little thing in my room.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I meet up with Stagger, and this guy named Addy Addison. He used to make amplifier too.
Yeah.
And he was singing in one of them groups. I can't remember the name until you. But anyway, when I start moving with Stagger and one thing, and I carry those schematic by Stagger and all of that, and he had to it. He built the amplifier like a 4-track.
Yeah, and this was like an echo feedback system that he created.
Yeah, all of that too. But he built the amplifier like a 4-track. You can separate a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And them time there was only 2 tracks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, he built the amplifier like a 4-track, and you can pick out and add and put on. That's our my radio show. That's our play up to this day. From 1970, I come here till now. Them time the dub wasn't exist because it was just 2 tracks. The first 2 record I buy it was 2 vocal, because there wasn't the closest thing to a version was instrumental with Roland and Fanso them and Tommy McCook and all these guys.
Yeah.
Lester Sterling and all of them.
Now,
so if you notice, the first set of songs them I make, it was just instrumental.
Now, I hear you. And now let me make sure I understand, though, because this article also was really talking about how this innovation that young Tubby made with this Fisher reverb unit that created this echo, this ability to insert echo into the music, into really kind of really was a big thing for advanced dub music. Now, another thing that in this article that's mentioned, though, is that Stagger says that he ended up calling down to Jamaica and talking to his brother, or either maybe it was the other way. Maybe King Tubby may have called him and said, "Hey, I'm hearing some of these songs you sent with this new echo reverb, that you've created. How did you do that? And then Stagger says in this article that it was after that all these songs started coming from Jamaica, from Tubby's, with the use of the echo in it. Do you agree with? Do you agree?
Reverb.
Yeah.
I know that too. Because as I say,
Yeah.
Nobody never used to do all of these things. And I say the first two recorded by 1970 in New York.
Yeah.
There wasn't all of these things.
Yeah.
And from starting Mr. Dad Studio One, he keep hearing these things too. And he did, I think, and I'm not sure if it was a sample dub LP, but it was monotonous, too much,
Yeah.
I don't even hear that album anymore, but the first double LP Mr. Dad put out. But what I'm saying, Stagger, when you go to a dance, everybody, Stagger make that amplifier for people here, all over. People buy all 2 amps to carry go England and all them things, and with them style there. You dub out, you can dub out, and and that's what I'm still doing, as I say, up till this day.
Yeah, so it was
used to be around Stagger and thing, and when them design the amplifier them and then put the reverb, Toby tell him to send it come, and Stagger send the original Fisher.
Oh wow!
Everybody have to laugh.
Yeah.
He send the original Fisher, and Toby say, "So what am to do one with the bulky sound, that sound there and thing and and Stagger said, well, he never said it, and Toby is vexed with him because Toby said, well, it's like, he said, Jah Life, look at this. I said, you don't have to tell me know these things. He said, you cannot give no man everything all you got.
Wow. Yeah.
And
you have to hold some back.
The story of the devil or Satan and God.
Yeah.
And God teach the devil everything except to blow breath, and the devil get vexed. That, in other words, that's what he was saying. That's why I tell him I know that. Because Toby's to get vexed with him for that.
Yeah.
But Toby's never really. Toby's used Toby's used to just whine to me. When I usually go there once in a blue, the Toby's whining transformer and all of that build amplifier and all of that.
I hear you. I'm going to come back to Tubby's in a minute, but is it right that Junior Tubby or Leslie or Stagger, all the same people, did he move? I understand he moved to Florida from New York after suffering some burglaries that he had, and then he opened up a place called Young Tubby's Music Center. Yeah, right?
That's true. Well, you see with him now, he used to work at some big technology places, a place that everybody they have to send to him. So he used to tell Toby and Philip Smart to go to school and know certain things. That's how Philip get great too.
Yeah. Yeah, now Jah Life, 4 years ago, about 4 years ago in 2020, in a magazine called Wax Poetics, this guy named David Katz, he writes about reggae a lot, and he also is Lee Scratch Perry's main biographer. He's from the UK, and like I say, he publishes about reggae a lot, and he wrote the following, and I want to read it to you. This is the quote from him. The start of the quote begins, I'll tell you when the quote ends, but this is what he wrote. He wrote, as has been well documented, Tubby was the electronics repair wizard and sound system operator who was instrumental in the development of dub as an art form. The great majority of work for Jamaica's grassroots ghetto producers was voiced and mixed in his tiny front room studio, first by King Tubby himself and his first apprentice, Philip Smart, and later by Pat Kelly, Prince Jammy, Scientist, and occasionally by Professor and Peter Chemist. And that's the end of the quote. What do you think about that description?
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Okay, and at this point, Jah Life, I want to bring up one of the biggest, most legendary of the very many artists associated with the Jah Life label and that have had a connection with you at this point, and that's the artist Barrington Levy, one of the best singers of all time. And I bring up Barrington at this point because in that same David Katz article that I just quoted from, David Katz goes on to write the following quote, and I want to read this to you. This is a quote. I want to check it with you. And he writes, Quote, at the time of the Barrington Levy sessions, Prince Jammy and Scientist were the two mixers most commonly active at Tubby's Tubby's place, and their dub mixes of Barrington's material formed some of the last great classical dub works to surface from Jamaica, while Scientist's skilled engineering shaped the overall feel of Barrington's standard vocal output. End quote. And then, before you respond, then David Katz, same guy, he writes that Barrington Levy, when he talked to Barrington emphasized, quote, this is Barrington talking. Barrington said, quote, it was the same formula anyway. Englishman, Robin Hood, bounty hunter. It was strictly Scientist, same way. Jah Life, what do you think about this writing from Katz and also this quote from Barrington Levy?
All right, let me say this.
Yeah.
First thing first.
Yeah.
1979, I went to Jamaica.
Yep.
For Linval Thompson for Vice, the Take 5 version.
Right.
The same DDT, what you know, Age of Revolution.
Right.
A friend of mine named Bunny, right, was living around here. So he said, oh, Linval always hang out down the corner there, Oakland Road. And him bridging, and him take me down here, and John Joe alone was standing on the corner, like, I don't know who was looking for, if he, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, he took me to him and said, this is Linval Bridging, so, you know, you can talk to him.
Right.
He said, I really don't want to buy, and I said, no. That's what John just said. If you want rhythm to buy, I said, no.
Yeah.
He said, me have some rhythm you can see him. I said, right now, Linval, me I look for him. He said, you sure you don't want some rhythm to buy? And he insist on that. And I said, so how much should the rhythm?
Right.
And he said, okay, we can get 10 4-track rhythm for $1,000 US.
Yeah.
And I think of it, and I say, well, you know, for one tune, it probably costs 1 4-track. It costs almost that in America. So I said, okay.
Right.
And he said, all right, we can go to Tubby's and need have my tape. So I go to Tubby's and, you know, see, him start play, Scientist play, and I pick the one that me want and thing like that.
Right.
All right, I get them and things. So when we finish and thing, him said, all right, we can put together, we have musicians and artists and everybody, you know, we can get the studio, and if you want, we work.
Right.
We can do some work together. And I said, well, we see where it go. And they have Tony Tuff and artists and the whole of them artists there and thing. And all of the artists, the whole heap of the artists them. But I say, well, we can do that, you know. But me I got choose some rhythm for myself, you know. A virgin named Bunny.
Yeah.
Him borrowed 2, I think that's what they killed him for.
Oh.
2 double, a Treasure Isle and a studio one.
Yeah.
And all those rhythms will lick over with Barrington vibes. And
when he said lick over, it means do new record.
All right, say this. You did the other backup.
No, that's fair. No, that's good to know.
Yeah, sometimes you know, 2 me talk. Yeah, 2 me talk sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
It's a glad Scientist did the thing. And, you know, see, so what happened now, we start make over the rhythm then.
Yep.
You know? We start make over the rhythm them and thing.
And
go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, just to make sure I understand this now, who mixed those albums, Englishman, Robin Hood, and Bounty Hunter at Tubby's? Who mixed those albums?
The very, 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 very first album, right? It wasn't even albums. We just mixed a whole heap, everything we would make on Vice.
A bunch of singles.
Scientists mix, no jammies, no nothing. From my born till this day, I'm 72. From my born until now, I never, ever see, we call him
Jammy?
Jammy at Toby's show. You never.
So
never.
let me ask like I'm gonna ask you, like, scientists probably gonna laugh at this, but I'm gonna ask you just like a lawyer would. So when those Englishman, Robin Hood, and Bounty Hunter, all those tracks that end up on those 3 early Barrington albums that were so everyone thinks they're like, you know, classic dub albums, just like David Katz wrote. All those songs that appear on those early Barrington albums, they were mixed by scientists, correct?
It's scientists I know to do that. Me, I was there with all of them.
And as far as you know, Jah Life, did King Tubby or Jammy have anything to do with mixing those early Barrington Levy albums?
Tubby used to run at the front of the house.
Right.
He was used to a winding transformer.
Right.
And sometimes I see he come around and said, I don't tell you don't mix it, use the boat back ways. So I didn't know what I was talking about with all of those mix. But when I take the 45. Yep. Right, the tape with the DDT, with those young and thing them mixed it with it's really stagger. Me and him used to do them things. And him was the engineer, I wasn't an engineer, so him do those things. And so that's where we went to a studio called Artcraft in Brooklyn. Right. And do the mixing. Right. And then we do the mixing there now. You know, I was the one who kind of partially mixed it. I don't know to balance and all of these things. So after the song, them now we do record the whole of the songs and now. I mean, scientists hear what I have there and say, well, it's someone them. And scientists quickly start doing the things about him get to explore with him ideas we have too. Scientists, start to do those things.
And it was science. Scientist was, you know, exploring and using his own artwork to mix those albums, and it was scientists and scientists alone who mixed all those.
No, Tobies, no, Jammies, no, Pammies, no, Mummies, no, Daddies.
It was just scientists. Now, you and scientists.
Most of the time.
Yeah, and Jah Life, those Barrington albums all came out on the Green Sleeves Records.
No.
Oh.
All right. Here how the albums come up. Okay. The albums start now. Yeah. Me and Jonjo was doing that 12-inch was just coming around. Yeah. So was doing 12-inch mix and thing, and that's how the dub then come, you know. Yeah. Doing 12-inch mix. Because I remember I tell you about 245. Two of them was too vocal on them. Yep. 1970. Yep. And by 79 now, after we make the dub mix with the DDT, yep, the Age of Revolution, yep, make that thing with the River Fisher Reverb and the Univac Echo Chamber and all of that, and we do that. And Toby's brothers, Stagger, used to do it's special. We used to call it special. Those days, it was 1959 or 69, I think. Yeah. The first one was where we go again? On the beach with what his name now? Owen Gray. Gray on the beach. Yeah. I was dancing to the music after. Yeah. On the beach. Yeah. Yeah. But nobody never take. Nobody never, you know, until Stagger now. Where him send go get Tobies and Tobies and the mice, I think we're dealing with that is no organized.
Yeah, I love that song. I know that song. Yeah.
79.
Yeah.
With the mix, because they've never have them mixed it. Like with scientists, you know, when we started. You know, the Jah Life and my way up to New. Alright, I said, Barrington, I want you to sing a special for my son. You say, what name, so? I'm going to a special song with my son name in it.
Yeah.
I said, let me hear it. And I said, on my way up to New York, it's like some attitude, them a jump on a lap. The life for the people more. You never hear my song before. The first time you hear it, it turn you on. Jah Life International. I must say, what kind of fool thing that? You just say, sing the thing, man. You kind of talk close to him and him sing it. No, him telling me him write it. And Barrington never hear my sound yet from him born till now.
I see.
Never.
I see. Now,
so it's between me and Junjo and scientists with all of these changes and everything.
Now let me. I hear what you're saying, and I don't mean to take it off track, but I do want to ask.
Don't worry about it.
I do want to ask this. Now we talked about those Barrington. I mentioned the tracks that end up on those Barrington albums. That I mentioned, but the early ones, but. You're probably also familiar. I know you're familiar with, but I want to just make sure, and then I want to ask you a question or two about them. There were these albums that came out, these very highly acclaimed, highly rated dub albums, and these are the names of the albums: Scientist versus Prince Jammy, Big Showdown; Scientist Heavyweight Dub Champion; Scientist meets the Space Invaders; Scientist rids the world of the curse of the evil vampires; Scientist encounters Pac-Man; and the last one is Scientist wins the World Cup. All those came out on the Green Sleeves record label. And I want to ask you, Jah Life, the same question that I asked about those early Barrington Levy songs that end up on those first Barrington Levy albums. I have the same question about these Wicked 6 dub albums, Scientist dub albums that came out on the Green Sleeves label. Can I ask you, Jah Life, first of all, were you there? Were you at King Tubby's when the content, the tracks that end up on those 6 Green Sleeve Scientist albums, were you in the studio when those songs were mixed?
Okay, well, let me say this to you.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
All of those albums, me, Scientist, and one of Junjo brethren, Melon. Only us was there. Only we alone, Melon. Only we alone was here. Me saying,
what about
Junjo, nobody else.
What about Saddle? What about Saddle?
Saddle was there sometime when
and Saddle
used to work with Linval.
Yeah.
Saddle used to work with Linval. And so he mostly, he was there sometimes to and all of that.
Why were these guys? Why was Green Sleeves? Why, if you know, or if you have any thoughts about this, but if you were there, and my understanding is you, Jah Life, were there. Not only were you there, you were sometimes funding the sessions. And
every session that Junjo used to do,
and yeah, let me say it all. But you not only were you funding it, you were deciding along with Scientists which songs, which tracks should be mixed and appear on the albums, and you were doing.
Give it to you.
So wait, hold on. Well, hold on. Before you do, what I want to ask is, if you did all these things, shouldn't you, Jah Life, have received credit as a producer for all those 6 dub albums that Scientists mixed? Shouldn't you have gotten credit?
I know that, but what I'm going to tell you about all of that now, I'm going to give it to you straight from the top.
Yeah.
Okay. After, when we finished making the Bunch Hunter album, it wasn't an album, as I say. We were just voicing.
Yeah.
And we
when I'm talking about voicing, I'm talking about recording.
Yep.
Like Barrington Levy vocals.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened is, when I came up to New York with my set of tapes, first John just said, "Oh, we are gonna work this now." And I say, "You tell me."
Right.
And I say, "Well, I no problem still. We can work it 50-50 because you have the artist and you, engineer and studio and everybody, and me put up the money." Right. So it's not a problem. I give him $1,000 for 10 rhythms.
Right.
But that is one Junjo one is lately I find that out. Because the Collyweed that just record.
Yep.
With Barrington. And it was Leon Rhythm, Chester brother. I used to manage Carlton and Barnabas Collins rhythm with Villain Ranger. That was the rhythm that helped to put Barrington too, because that was Ranger big tune. And Barnabas called Alters. And
Yeah.
All right. So after we finish, do all of these recording and mixing and all of that, and John just, I say, so we are going to work this now. I say, you tell me. I say, no, you tell me, man. I say, all right. Me I go deal with Jamaica, call media Jamaica. I say, me I go deal with America, call media America. So, we say, well, so England I go now. I say, me not ready for travel yet. And him say, he might go to England and go look some deal and thing. And I say, all right, fine.
Right.
You know, see, so New York is my turf, Jamaica is your turf, and me I deal with England. But I wasn't ready to travel yet.
Right.
When I come up, I see Busy from Sonic Sound Records. Busy coming in a record shop with Jeremy and did get after. It wasn't Jeremy known, but that up on Jeremy, but after him get that. And I see him come up with Looking My Love and Natty Judd enough for first now fight. Street reggae music. And I say, boss, where you get them tune from? And it depends. Busy label. I say, where you get them tune from? I say, Junjo give. I say, Junjo can't give this. I'm my tune, you know. I start get upset now and I say, I'm my team. I do him say, me and Junjo think I'm my money spent.
Yeah.
And then like all them rhythm, through the one with him here, we name that tell Pure Life, flab about Junjo just give money and him just make tune.
So Junjo, you know, you didn't know this until you found out later, but Junjo, you know, was dealing with Green Sleeves, and you know they kind of cut you out, you and Scientist.
No, man, never tell you all that, but that's where I go getting now. I can tell you all of that. Though. So what happened, you know, see, when I forgot up Busy in the record shop, I don't want to see you back with them. You come back here with them because my things, I say I do it me and Junjo. Call Junjo say him give them for Sonic Sound.
Yeah.
And him come up here, come release it because Junjo never says him and somebody involved. Then when I get the 12-inch now with the Jah Thomas and take it to VP for make the 12-inch now, I say label with Jah Thomas and I bad up question and say, boss, I'm my thing them and we do it why you touch him, you know. I'm a call Junjo again, him say, boss, Randy's record mad in Jamaica. Them was supposed to call them put out 10. Them wasn't in America yet. Right? Them get them for Randy's record mart in Jamaica. And then come up here and start press them. Him never start press them either because him did just label them. And I just cut myself, I just say, you know what, coming like a some bounty hunter thing I go on, you know. And we just designed the same Randy's family. There was them cousin or uncle and nephew or somebody did upstairs where him used to bodyguard them like everything. And he set up him friend them for rob them because them never treat him nice.
Wow.
There's two brothers, you know, one named Vincent and one named Victor.
Yeah.
The guys the one at Twin Randy's and Vincent. They came up 1978 and go to the government to try and register Twin Randy's name, and the government run them. VP them.
Yeah.
That's why they have to use Victor and Pat.
Yeah. Now
Vincent and Pat. Yeah, that's why they have to use VP. We just call it Vampire. Let's call it Vampire. Because me used to say me spot, but stop that. I don't talk that no more.
Jah Life.
I used to say them had some evil people. They owe me from 79. The same bounty hunter LP from 79 to 84. They owe me 16,000.
I believe it. Now, Jah Life, I don't want to, let me interject for just a second.
No, man, say what you say, man.
Yeah, let me interject for just a second and just pin down this one fact. I think we already did it with the Barrington albums, but I want to do it with these 6 Scientist dub albums. When
may I get that? No, may I get that? But may I run
let me. Yeah, what I was going to do. Let me ask my question, and then you can tell your story. Yeah. Let me ask my question first, because I want to, just as a lawyer, get one or two of these facts straight and make sure it's just 100% clear for the record. We already did it with the Barrington albums, with the tracks that came out. We already established that the only people who were in the studio when those tracks happened was you, Scientist, and Melon. And now when those six very famous dub albums, you know, which it's no secret that Scientist is involved in litigation with Green Sleeves about those albums. But what I want to know, Jah Life, about those 6 albums is when those albums were being mixed, the only people who was in the studio when those albums were being mixed,
only as I said, me, Scientist, and Melon.
Fair, good.
Only.
Sometimes Melon.
Right. And
one person that came after was Toyan, and we do the All the West was one LP.
And before I forget, Jah Life, do you have any knowledge, any firsthand knowledge or memory that you have of Junjo, Jammy, Linville Thompson, Tubby, or anyone else from that studio paying Scientist or giving Scientist money to do all that work he did?
Okay. Again, Scientist.
Yep.
Right? Junjo and Scientist wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Those things were that.
Why is that? Why were Junjo and Scientist not talking? And as Scientist, you can feel free to chime in. Why? Scientist, why did you tell...
Wait now. I go to Scientist's house and I tell Scientist, boy, that brother the two-faced like him want bad me up and thing and him not taking it.
When him saying bad up, when him saying bad up, it mean bringing violence.
Yeah. So you didn't want to.
Anyway,
so you didn't want to. You didn't want to deal with him anymore, Scientist.
No.
And so Jah Life, you started to deal with him.
Yes. So I went for Scientist, and Scientist said, he might come in New York, he might file fee, he might come in New York. And I said, well, America. So I said, well, so don't worry about it, man, because he never get no money, really. I know that. I mean, so don't worry yourself, man. Me, I go to America, and you make everything right. So don't feel no way and thing. But it was in DF, I think it was a Tuesday. It was in DF. And he must say, well, I said, no, man, I'm me, I go deal with now. Don't worry about it.
And didn't you...
Scientists open the studio. I mean, I hear scientists couldn't even go in the studio unless Jammies open it and thing. I mean, never ever, from my born till this day, never ever see Jammies at Toby's studio. Never.
Right, because scientists had the key to the studio.
Yes, and the key.
And didn't you, Jah Life, while these albums were being recorded, the Greensleeves, the 6 dub albums, at one point, or maybe even during the whole thing, didn't you go and used to pick Scientist up at his house on Coral Way and drive him to the studio?
I am the one who used to pick up Scientist and camera, would do the work. It's not just the 6 dub album.
Yeah.
It's not even it's double album.
It's more than that.
Junjo, they never even known about the double album then time, really.
Right.
What happened, it was just the mix, the version them for the songs them. All right, it's about 15 to 16 albums. Two Michael Prophet, Wailing Soul them, Wayne Jarrett, Hugh Mundell.
A lot of people, yeah, a lot. We're talking about a lot of albums. Jah Life, just to confirm, no one paid Scientist. You didn't see anyone paying Scientist any money for this, right?
Nobody paid Scientist because it was me who was the one who was spending the money. Me get Junjo the money for that. I know Scientist, they never get no money.
Yeah.
But Stephen, listen.
Yeah.
If Tubby's was not the studio, okay, let's ask it. Jah Life, when he used to come and pick me up, was Jammies in the studio, running the studio?
Come on, dear Scientist. Me not you me say like why. Me say me never ever see Jammies at Tubby's studio yet. Never.
And was Tubby's
and you go open it. Most of the time Tubby's never did it because I think the last set of tune we boss talk about, you know, it was more your day off them.
Right.
I think it was the day off. And me come for you.
Right. I think I got
to keep continuity with what Stephen said.
Yeah.
Stephen, continue.
Yeah, I think I got the answer to that. But now I want to ask a different question, which is Jah Life. And I think it's going to involve some of the same things, but it's very interesting that someone posed this question. Jah Life, when I announced that I was going to be interviewing you on social media. And I asked if anyone wanted to suggest a question that they really wanted me to ask you today, Jah Life. There was a gentleman by the name of a Mr. Wayne Spratt, and he messaged me and he asked me, quote, please ask Jah Life about Junjo laws. There is not too much information out there about Junjo. What were the songs that he had musical input in on his label? And then also, does Jah Life know anything about Junjo's death?
Well, I don't know anything about his death like that. I hear so much different things. But when he went to prison, I know it's his baby mother, a girl that went named Flat-Face girl that went named Joan. She called me the other day. A guy called me, we used one of my songs, Dangerous with Conroy Smith, and he sampled it and put the Barrington, which I wrote that lyrics for Chines and P. Diddy. That song called Bad Boy. Barrington struggling and couldn't find a song. Lloyd Evans is the one who get the deal. So I was there and thing, and they came, and my son was there, and a guy named Part 2. So they're there, and him struggling, and him say, Jah Life, you're the right, I tell you more for say no. And I said, Barrington, but I know your tune is Shine's tune. And that's the thing you asked for that. And I said, the label is Bad Boy. I don't talk certain things certain time. You see, Barrington have a way of hearing the thing them at ice, and then later on him mix them in with what
I'm gonna ask.
So I said,
go ahead.
So I said, huh?
Go ahead.
So I said, Bad Boy from the car now. The label is Bad Boy. It's Bad Boy. So I said, Bad Boy from the car now move from Monica with Dangerous. And you should live up. Right?
Yeah.
Barrington don't even know where it come from.
I was going to ask you about that. Sugarly Wop, Sugarly Wop. And isn't Sugarly is a real...
He wrote a lot of songs for...
Let me ask you this. Let me stop. Jah Life. Jah Life, let me stop there and ask you a very specific question about that. Because hold on.
Allow you to do. Say anything you want to say.
Hold on one second. Let me ask this. So, in the song Black Roses, which Barrington put out in, I think, 83, and I think...
I put it out.
You put it out, I know. But I know you put it out. But my understanding is that I believe in that song, and I think he does it in other songs too, he does that Sugarly Wop. And I just learned that Sugarly from Scientist, I'll be honest, from Scientist told me the other day that Sugarly was a real person. He was your friend. Is that true?
Yeah, Barrington, know the guy. All right. I am
almost direct, Jah Life. Was that true?
I'm almost no, not like that. What Barrington said. Barrington don't know where it comes from. I gave it to him.
Tell us. Right? Tell us how you did.
Hear what you do. What you do. You see this song called Ragamuffin?
Yeah.
Just listen to Ragamuffin and you hear all of them things. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God, corrupted at the end, done abominable. Barrington never even knew it was a Bible quote. Right? I say, Ragamuffin, stop your offing. Ragamuffin, stop your loafing. And then say, Shudlu Wadley, when it couldn't, Michael Prophet was vice in the song and he stopped part of the way and say it have too much changes. Then I put Scan after Scan Success after Prophet. But the piece where him stop, because anybody sing half a tune or a piece of tune for me, I can't finish it.
Right.
And I tell I said, Januel, you finish this. And I said, me need them thing, the man. And after I hear Scan Success Bites, him say, all right, maybe try it. And it's called Superstar Mix. If you look up the Superstar Mix, you hear Michael Prophet, Scan Success, and then Januel.
Right.
And after that, now I say, nobody can sing a piece of tune and give me and expect me I go just spend my money on a piece of tune. So what happened is with all of that now, when I did that, Barrington now forgot on the rhythm and Barrington I said, boy, too much tune, he might go all over the place. So I say, but so they should look up and still what they will come in. And I said, Barrington, here what? You see Ragamuffin is that we name Bonnie Lee song, me do over. called Ragamuffin with Just Stitch.
Right.
From 1973, 74. I know Barrington 79.
Right.
And between 73 and 74, I was going to country and at country truck with them, with Black Arm and the I-5. And Just Stitch was, when he reached the dance, and Just Stitch I used a tune there. You know, see it, Ragamuffin, Sapilofin, Ragamuffin, Sapilofin, and I say, what? And when I come up, everybody from my son love that and start DJ it over and over and over. Then tell me do him half no Barrington. Then, when I tell Barrington one, him sing the song for me. Because I love the DJ vibes to sing tune. So, I say, well, why you sing this tune up for me? And you give him it and he must sing and it a give him problem.
Right.
So, Mr. Barrington, while him in a mad professor studio, me give him the lyrics, them piece and thing, and he must add them and thing, and then to listen back and go and say, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God, corrupt are there and they don't abandon they will quit it. What kind of fool thing that every tune Barrington talk about it, where him say, a fool tune. You know, see, murderer, Black Rose, the whole of them, him say a fool tune. And the intercom, him call it Here I Come. The tune don't name Here I Come.
Yeah.
Barrington steal a tape at my house, a cassette with Reverend Badu tune, said, do rubber man nobody rob me, sir. Do rubber man nobody rob me. And on the telephone, she hear my voice. Nicodemus tune, again, I'm remixing those, you know, I'm putting it back out. Nicodemus did it 82 for him always a DJ things and thing, and him do it for the show pass leader Vivian Blake.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I do want to guess, because I think we kind of stretched a little away from where we started, which was about Sugarly Wop.
Yeah, so it's that me I get through. So we have to talk the things that will come in between them.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, again, try to make it short. Stuff them short. But it should be what now? When we have a boxing gym and we do track and field and table tennis and everything we do there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What that was the and the policeman named Julians. He have a piece of, you know, those water hose. Not the thin green one, the jet black one, then the thick black one, then.
Yeah.
When he come round here, he say, "Who round there, so?" I'm a virgin Shudley, say, "Me Shudley I study." And when him come on and say, "What your name?" And him say, "Shudley." Here, what? And say, "What your name?" Shudley, what? And we all did that team him Shudley what did it. And the guy that introduced me to John Joe, me and him reminisce it from 79 and thing I hear. And then me start give Barrington the lyrics when he come. I say, the ragamuffin, fiddly waddly, diddly waddly, whoa, because the rhythm changed like that.
So you told Barrington about Sugarly Wop and how to introduce that lyric.
Barrington don't know what where it come from. You know what Barrington said in an interview? If you can check it out, he says he was on his granny mountain or hill, and when you talk, it echo, and that's how he get his signature sound.
And you're saying that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More than bullshit.